Good Thursday evening. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. It is an active evening for us. We had a front push through this morning and it stalled out and interacting with the sea breeze and the sunshine we have this afternoon. It has fired off a couple of thunder showers that have quite a bit of intensity, so let's walk you through it. If you're in the Sugar Land area, you're certainly hearing the intensity of the storm with some loud booms of thunder, some heavy downpours, especially for First Colony, University Boulevard, Greatwood, up the Southwest Freeway, again towards Sugar Land. Some of these deeper reds, some maroons, and even some bursts of purple there could indicate potentially some small hail. We're definitely seeing the probability of some gusty wind as well. So if you're in any of these areas, New Territory, Greatwood, Crab, First Colony, Sugar Land, and you have not secured any outdoor furniture, anything in your patio, your balconies, just make sure you go ahead and do that, as we are seeing some of these storms get quite a bit of height. This one in particular near Sugar Land is above 30,000 feet. That means it has quite a bit of instability and intensity. It's robust, and for that reason, we're preoccupied with the potential hazard of some lightning as well. I'll walk you through the lightning count here in a minute, but for the last 3 hours, the cell is coming at a steady pace, but this thunderstorm that we've been watching progressing further to the northeast has dumped down some heavy rain, 2 to 3 inches in a couple of other spots. So we're going to keep a watchful eye. A couple of areas could start to see some issues with ponding once we see those rainfall rates exceed about 2 inches. But for right now, the New Territory area, just about a ½ inch to 1 inch in some localized areas there that you see in the green. We're also watching the Fresno area. You've got some deep purples showing up here on radar, reflectivity picking up on potentially some small hail again, and definitely some heavier downpours in the area too. So Chimney Rock Road, you're getting hit with a heavy downpour right now. Arcola, same deal for you, and that continues to push towards the northeast at around 10 miles an hour. So Alameda, you could see some of that wet weather too. So just south of the Beltway there, Sam Houston Parkway, you should start to see some light to moderate rain here in the next couple of minutes, but these storms are losing intensity. So the heavier rain will start to wean out, will fizzle out, especially as we head into the 8:30 hour. I'll show you what that looks like on Future Track. But Sienna, radar indicated about 1.5 inches of rain over the last 3 hours. A wider look, as I mentioned, some of these cells did bring down quite a bit of rain, a little quick downburst there for Needville, for Sealy. Like I mentioned, this is the front that moved through this morning, so it brought us rain and it just hung out here, and throughout the day it really used up the humidity that we had today and the sunshine, the warmth, to spark up some new showers in the evening. Here's a wide look at what the wet weather looks like. So from Sugar Land to Brookside Village this evening, we're seeing some shower activity getting down to Booney and just north of Angleton, so missing you for the most part. Lightning strikes of the last 10 minutes, 28 of them. We're breaking them down by intensity, so negative versus positive strikes. Negative strikes means that the origin of the lightning is from the base of the thunderstorm cell heading down to the ground. When we see positive strikes, that means that the lightning is coming from the top of the cell. Why is that significant? Well, if it's coming from the top of the cell, and we saw how high these thunderstorm cells are at 30,000 feet, it means they have a longer distance to travel. It means they are more intense. They have more energy and more heat, so they are 10 times more powerful than negative strikes. That's why we keep a close eye on this count, and anytime we see the positive count above the negative count, we know that the thunder showers are growing. But for the most part right now, they're pretty evenly split. We'll continue to watch that lightning strike count here within the next ½ hour to an hour or so. But by the 9 o'clock hour, Future Track radar shows things settled down. So if you're getting the rain right now, that is good news. In fact, most of us saw no measurable rain so far for the month of October. So this is our first good rainmaker from our front that pushed through this morning. Now we're going to quiet things down during the overnight hours, hang on to some cloud cover, but much of the energy, much of the moisture goes away as we head into Friday and Saturday. Some of our models wanting to pick up on a little speck of moisture, so a sprinkle, an isolated stray shower, not completely out of the question for a Friday, Saturday, but I'm thinking most of us, most of the viewing area staying dry for the end of the work weekend and the start of the weekend. Now Sunday, Monday is a completely different story. We'll see radar light up again. 50% to 60%, that means the majority of us will be seeing the wet weather. That's because we've got another front, a more potent one that arrives Sunday into Monday, bringing us those widespread rain chances and some other good news, much drier and cooler air. I will have details on all of this coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm keeping a close eye on radar. You can watch radar live on khou.com as well. If I see anything that pops up and warrants some other explanation or a warning, a heads up, I'll jump back on here and let you know about it. Otherwise, I'll see you at 10 o'clock and we'll talk about this cool front that's bringing us the fall feel.